And I'll go into share screen. Here we go. So we can go over some of these expressions. I thought I would take a moment just to clarify some of the things that I put out on the group, and some of you asked questions about those things. Eva, you already answered the T-60 thing. Does that make perfect sense to everybody? When a rocket is launching, you know, you hear things like T-5 minutes, T-4 minutes. When it gets down to 1 minute, it's T-1 minute, or they'll say T-60 seconds, T-59, T-55, T-50, T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. You heard that? You heard that?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
So because of that idea of counting down to something, a big event like a rocket taking off, we sometimes say that about other events. It'll be T-2 weeks, i.e. 2 minutes before the event we're talking about, right? It's T-1 week till I go on holiday, kind of thing. I wish. I wish. What does it mean if I say I wish like that, like a statement? I wish. What does that mean?
I hope.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I would like to go and visit Wenjing in China one day. I wish. So the statement I wish. Normally what you say is I wish something, right? I wish to own a bicycle. I wish to go on a parachute jump. I wish. But you can also say it after something, right? If you make the statement first, you can say I wish, right? It's slightly more dramatic when you say it that way. Although probably not as grammatically correct. You'd never write it that way. It's something that you would just say. Let me give another example. You would use it in response to something. So let's say Mona said, Alan, would you like to visit Tehran? I could say, I wish, which means, oh yes, I would like to do that. Just means that. But it also, it's sort of an indication also that might not necessarily happen. I've no confidence that it would happen. So it's a wish. It's not a plan. Right? Everybody with me?
Yes, okay. Sure. Okay.
Right. So let me just go through the other things then. In extremis. Mona, you asked about that and I answered it on the group chat.
Yes.
Is that perfectly clear? Do you want to explain it to everybody else? You explain it to me what an extremis means. Oh no, you do. You explain what an extremis means.
I can't explain, teacher, but I think that you told in the group that when two person want to talk about something, and this is difficult situation, I think.
Yeah, okay. So what you just said, I'm just going to correct something, right? You said, teacher, you told something. You said like that, right? You told, yeah?
You said.
It's good, good girl. That's
Excuse
it.
me.
You said, what you want to say is you said, or you explained would be even better in that scenario.
Okay.
Because I explained it, right? I'm giving an explanation, right?
Yes.
Told was, you know, it's like if I'm pointing the finger, you know, I'm bossing you about if I'm telling you. So a real teacher might boss you about. You know, this teacher won't boss anybody, right? Or your parents might tell you, right? Because it's their right. It's their prerogative, right? Parents boss children about, right? Or your superior at work, your manager, whatever you call your manager at work, might tell you, right?
Okay.
But you wouldn't tell him or her because you're inferior, right? You're lower down the hierarchy. So if you're lower down the hierarchy, you would ask or you would request.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
So right, that's good. I also explained online as well this terminology. My phone doesn't come into focus here. Lock, stock, and barrel. Lock, stock, and barrel. And what I explained on that one was I must and make sure I put it in here because then it will be in the recording. Lock, stock, and barrel is a merism used predominantly in the United Kingdom and North America, meaning all, total, or everything. I have never heard of the term merism before. Let's look that up in a minute. But lock, stock, and barrel meaning everything. So, and generally, it's where a scenario where it would be like it's wide. It's something to get your arms around. So I plan to move to London in June. Alan, are you moving? Lock, stock, and barrel would be a very good question to ask me. And the answer would be no, I am not moving lock, stock, and barrel. And what I mean is I'm not moving everything. I'm not going to sell my house in Scotland. I'm going to go with a suitcase and my computer because I'm going to work. So I'm not moving lock, stock, and barrel. Everybody got that?
So sure, what the differences using all, everything with lock, stock, and barrel? In my mind, when we use the term of our idiom lock, stock, and barrel, this is about everything, so many things, and there is many kind of stuff, right? Stuffs,
Right. Exactly. You've got that. You got that.
Okay.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm saying, you know, if anybody moves house, it's kind of one of the stressful situations in life, right?
Right.
Changing jobs, getting married, and moving house. Those are the three things that cause most stress in life, according to psychologists. And when you're moving house, there's a lot of things to think about. You know, there's all your goods and there's your post needs redirected and it's just so complicated, right? So it's easier not to move lock, stock, and barrel. So this is a really good idiom. Excuse me. A bit tired. I've been up since 4 this morning. Right, let's look at this word merism, a rhetorical device in which a combination of two contrasting parts of the whole refers to the whole. I never knew that word before now. That's a new word for me. Yes, Mona.
Excuse me, teacher. This expression means doing completely.
No.
Wrong.
Well. It's not a statement about doing something.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not about doing something. If you're wanting to say you did something, you would say you completed something.
okay.
Yeah, completion. It's not that thought. The thought is, I'm gathering up all my bits.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Like, if you were going on holiday, you might say, I'm taking everything but the kitchen sink. That's another another expression we would use. But the kitchen sink. An extremely large number of things. When he goes on vacation, he takes along everything but the kitchen sink. See that?
Difficult, teacher. What is?
Right. So this idea is, when you go on holiday, right, you take stuff with you, right? Now you could travel light with a little handbag, right? Or a little rucksack, yes. Or you might take 2 big suitcases, see, a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And some people travel light and some people like to travel with lots of things. I'm one of these terrible people that likes to take a lot of stuff because I've got to have all my books to read, got to have my swimming gear, I've got to have my music. So I'm one of these people that this would apply to. Or when Alan goes on holiday, he goes with everything but the kitchen sink. So in other words, it's like he takes all his, he goes lock, stock, and barrel, right? You wouldn't use lock, stock, and barrel there, but it's like that because I'm basically saying I'm taking a lot of stuff. The only thing I'm not taking is the kitchen sink because you can't take the kitchen sink with you, right?
Yes.
You can't take it because it's stuck in the kitchen, right? But you're taking everything else, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Right, and so that's a good expression to know.
Yes.
Then I also mentioned in the group the idea of embargo. Embargo. An official ban on trade or other commercial activity with a particular country. An embargo on grain sales. Historically, this was an order of a state to forbid foreign ships to enter or any ships to leave its ports. An embargo led by our emperor upon all vessels whatsoever. So that's what embargo meant historically. And what embargo means currently is any kind of hold on goods, right? Because holding on goods can be used by countries as punishment to other countries, you know? We're not happy. We're not. Yes, Mona?
Sanction, teacher.
Yes, it's like a sanction. Exactly. So sanction, that's excellent. Well done. Sanction is more general though, right? Because you can have sanctions where it's like one country is doing something to another country in order to try and impose its way on them, right? That would be a
Yes.
sanction. An embargo is a specific kind of sanction,
Okay.
which is commercial and has got to do with the movement of goods.
Okay. Okay. Export and something like that.
Export and import. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So there's a lot of talk at this at the moment because of the situation in Ukraine. There's lots of countries are placing an embargo on Russia, right? This is just reality right now, right?
Yes.
And if you read the press around the world, you'll get a sense of that.
Yes. Thank you.
So that was embargo. I've explained the difference between told and said, so we're all good there. Okay, so I'll go to my vocabulary list and go through some of these words. Before I do, does anyone have any? You maybe put your hand down now, Mona.
I see.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for me they want me to address? No questions. Okay, we'll carry on. If anyone has a question, just interrupt me. And it's good to interrupt me because it reminds me you're still alive. And it also gives you practice at articulating. Gives you practice at forming a sentence. Okay, so try and interrupt me at least once, everybody, all right? Mona's interrupted me 3 times, and that's cool. And Eva has asked a question, but Wenjing and Thingy have not asked me a question today. So you guys, your task, should you choose to accept it, is to ask me a question today, okay? At some point.
Yes, yeah.
All right then. Right, so the next one I want to teach you is what's called a Faustian bargain. What is a Faustian bargain? Anyone? That's okay. What does it mean? A Faustian bargain is a pact whereby a person trades something of supreme moral. Now notice that word, moral, or spiritual importance, such as personal values or the soul, for some worldly or material benefit, such as knowledge, riches, power, riches. The term refers to the legend of Faust or Faustus or Dr. Faustus, a character in German folklore and literature who agrees to surrender his soul to an evil spirit in some treatment. I won't go into that. After a certain period of time in exchange for otherwise unattainable knowledge and magical powers that give him access to all the world's pleasures. A Faustian bargain is made with a power that the bargainer recognizes as evil or amoral. Faustian bargains are by their nature tragic or self-defeating for the person who makes them, because what is surrendered is ultimately far more valuable than what is obtained, whether or not the bargainer appreciates the fact. Well, that's something heavy duty for a Sunday morning. Did that make sense? Does somebody want to replay that to me in their own words? What a Faustian bargain is?
Teacher, I don't know what's the meaning of Faustian, but I guess the meaning of bargain. These are separate?
Yeah. So a bargain, the word bargain is like a deal, right? We could do, I could say to you, I'm going to do a bargain. That means I'm going to do you a deal, right? That's what bargain means. Bargain is often used though to say it's a good thing, often. So I got that car last week, it was a bargain. When I say that, I mean I got it cheap.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's what we normally mean. But that's not the pure and ultimate meaning of bargain. A bargain is really the idea of a deal, whether it's a good bargain or a bad bargain. See, we normally assume bargain means good, but it's not always good, right? I bought that car last week and it broke down yesterday. It wasn't a good bargain. Yeah, it wasn't a good deal. So that's what bargain means.
Teacher, excuse me, it hasn't negative meaning, bargain.
So bargain doesn't, no, bargain can be negative or positive.
Okay.
Yeah. We would normally say something like that's a bargain. That was a good deal. That's what we would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
Now,
buyer is good meaning, but for seller is bad meaning, yes?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But ultimately they agreed to pay that price, and they did sell this. The seller sold their whatever it was they were selling, right? So they're still happy, right? They
Okay.
should be. It's their fault if they're not, because they sold it to a lower price.
Okay.
But a Faustian bargain is where somebody
Sure.
in effect sells their soul, right? They sell their soul. There's an expression we use, sell your soul to the devil. Which is obviously metaphorical, because you can't really sell your soul to the devil. But the idea is you're agreeing to do something evil or amoral or immoral, right? You're agreeing to that in order for some temporal return, right? So it could be something as simple as in return for some money, yeah. Or it could be in return for advantage in work. You did something that was immoral in order to gain advantage in work, right? So that would be called a Faustian bargain. I want to look it up in dictionary so that we can hear it spoken.
Faustian.
Faustian. A Faustian novel. A Faustian pact with the devil. So these are all very interesting kind of definitions here, right? Possessed with a hunger for knowledge or mastery. So it's being used in a very positive sense there. See that? The problem is if that hunger or thirst is so great, you'll do something immoral for it, then that's negative. The person in the street won't know what Faustian means. Educated people would know what it means. It would not be well known. Although if people read it, usually they can figure out the meaning from the context. I've always heard of it used like Faustian bargain. I've not really heard of it used like here on its own as Faustian. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to take a wee picture of that actually so I can remind myself about it. Okay, Faustian and Faustian Bargain. Right, here's another multi-language term, cry de coeur, cry de coeur. Now, what language is that? If you look at that, what language, can you figure out what language that is? What language is cry de coeur? The de gives it away, de.
French?
Yeah,
French?
exactly, exactly. So listen to the sound of it, pronounced properly. Listen. Cri de coeur. 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 Okay. And
Okay.
what it means is an anguished cry of distress or indignation or an outcry. An anguished cry of distress or indignation or outcry. What it actually means in terms, literal terms, is the coeur is the heart in French, and cri is a cry. So it's a cry from the heart. A cry from the heart. So it's an easiest way to remember it, right?
Okay.
And how it's used as an anguished cry of distress or indignation, an outcry. Cri de coeur, cri de coeur, cri de coeur. Okay, that's a good one to know.
Thank you.
Right. Now, who can tell me what this term means? Guarded. What does that mean?
Keeping something safe?
Yes, it does. However, that is the obvious meaning and the correct meaning. However, there's another sense in which guarded is used in the context of communications between people.
Oh, it means that you never accept something that other people say to you. You don't want to accept that. You say you
No,
just accept what you want.
No. That's a very good guess, right? That the word for that is skeptical.
Oh, okay.
Skeptical, right? So if I don't accept what other people say, I'm skeptical, right? I am skeptical of what you say, Mona, right? Means I'm not too sure I agree with you, right?
Okay.
Is this something like cautious?
Yes. Yes. You are, if we were playing the children's game, I would say you're extremely warm, right? Do you know the children's game where you tell the children you're hot or you're cold, or you're getting warm? Do you know that game? We play this game where you hide something in the room somewhere and you say to the child, go find it. And as they move around, we say, you're getting cold if they're getting away from it. If they're getting near it, they say, you're getting warmer. And if we say you're red hot, you're just at it, you see? It's a wee children's game.
Yes.
So my statement to you, Thingy, is you're very, very warm, right? Very, very warm, because you said cautious, right? Cautious. Now, I will explain the difference between these two things. I'll come back to you in a minute, Mona.
Sure.
Yeah. Let me finish explaining this. Right. So let's say I have a Russian friend. Just say. I don't know any Russians, but let's say I did. And I asked them, what do you think about the situation right now? I might find their answer guarded. Guarded.
Okay.
Now, what I mean by that is, it's not that they're cautious so much as they're not wanting to tell me what they're thinking.
Oh, okay.
So they're guarded in their response. right? They're
Yes.
guarded, right? For whatever reason. Now, it could be because if that's the way they are, it's because that's the way they think, or it could be because of the political situation and they don't want it to be known that they have misgivings about the current situation. And so the response is guarded,
Okay.
guarded. So let's look it up in the dictionary. Cautious, thingy's first thing. Careful, prudent, protected, protected, watched, or restrained. This is the sense in which I was wanting to use it, right? Restrained. To be guarded in one's speech. That's what I was saying, isn't it? Right? Very careful, very not wanting to say too much. To me, if I say thingy is guarded, I mean something different than if I say thingy is cautious. There's a bit of a difference there to my mind. Guarded is saying she knows more than she's wanting to say. Right? She knows more than she wants.
Mr. Ella, so it means like I know what's happening, but I keep secret.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. You got it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a good definition to know. And some people's characters are described like it could be to do with a certain situation. You know, he was guarded about that thing. But if you were describing somebody, I'd say, well, what is that guy like? And you say, well, he's quite guarded, right? So in a more general sense. And if you describe somebody in their character as guarded, what you mean is they're hard to get to know. They're a little bit enigmatic. They don't tell you what they think. So therefore, it's hard to really know what they're like. Does that make sense?
Yes, sure. Yes.
The other word I used there was enigmatic. Puzzling occurrence, situation, statement, person, perplexing, mysterious. She is perpetually enigmatic expression on her face. This is the most enigmatic book I've ever read. In other words, I can't figure out this book, right? So if somebody is enigmatic, they're hard to really understand. You know, some people are like that, right? You just can't really understand how they think, right? That's what enigmatic means. Guarded is where somebody is deliberately, somebody might like just be that way because that's the way they are, right? They're just wired that way, right? It's not necessarily deliberate. But if somebody is guarded, it's deliberate. I'm deliberately not going to tell you what I really think. Like if you asked me what my political views were, I would tell you, because I'm not guarded, I would tell you honestly what I think, right? But not everybody would do that, right? Some people say, well, that's my business. It's not your business. You know what I mean? That's what some people would do. They don't want to talk about these things. Okay, so we have done guarded and enigmatic to death. Everybody happy? We'll move on.
Sure. Enigmatic is like confusing, ambiguous, something like this.
Ambiguous, yeah, could be, yeah.
So, okay. Mysterious.
Okay, here's another good word. Overreach. Can anyone guess what that means? Overreach. No?
It's the
Do too much.
opposite.
Whoa. One at a time. Mona, you go.
This is opposite of guarded and enigmatic.
No, good try. No. Somebody else want to go?
Do something too much, more than someone's responsibility.
Yes. Very good, Wenjik. So think of it first of all physically, right? If I reach for something, I'm going to reach across and pick up my phone, you see?
Mhm.
Now, if I overreached, I'm stretching too far, I might fall over. See that? If I overreach, I can only reach what's like 3 feet to my right, 3 feet to my left. If I try and go beyond that, I'll have to lean forward and I might fall. So physically, that's what it means, okay?
Oh, okay.
But how we use it always is enigmatically to mean I said enigmatically, I didn't mean enigmatically. What am I trying to say? I'm forgetting what word I'm trying to say.
Overreach. Overreach.
Yeah, no,
No.
I don't mean that. I mean,
Ignoring permissions, ignoring limitations, and
no. Well, let me explain the word, right? There's another word in the back of my mind that I'm trying to get out and it won't come out. It's 2 in the morning. I haven't had enough coffee yet. Yeah, it's annoying me. What overreach means is when you try to do something that is too much in your current situation. And because of that, you're going to fall. That's what it means. So let's
Okay.
look at the dictionary definition.
Okay.
To reach or extend over or beyond, she overreached the nook and had to be playing down. The shelf overreached the nook and had to be playing down. Okay, so that's a very physical thing. To go beyond is a thing aimed at or sought. The arrow had had overreached the target. So I shot an arrow and it didn't fall short, it fell beyond it, right? If an arrow falls short, it's called a sin. Did you know that? Sin. And if it goes beyond it, it's overreach. To stretch to excess as by straining effort. To overreach one's arm and strain a muscle. See? That's how I was using it physically. I overreached and I hurt myself. Now, here is the key definition I wanted to communicate. To defeat oneself by overdoing matters, often by excessive eagerness or cunning. In trying to promote disunity, he had overreached himself. So somebody here is trying to sow discord in a team, a club, an office. So he's doing something deliberate in order to cause a lack of unity. But in doing this, he overreached himself. He stretched too far and presumably he was found out and he was sacked or he lost credibility with his peers or whatever. Does that make sense?
Okay. It's like push ourselves too much doing something, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you overreach, you're like not in control of a situation anymore. Right? And so again, to refer to the current political situation, a lot of people would say that Putin is overreached at the moment. Right? He's not really in control. He thinks he's in control, but actually he is overreached and is in trouble. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it would be used in the current situation. He's overreached. Okay. Right, here is a great word. Indomitable. Indomitable. Anyone know what that means? Indomitable? Think of it first of all, like this. What does dominate mean?
Influence.
Come again, thingy.
Domination.
Kind of influence.
Influence, yes. Yeah, but more than influence, I might influence you, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the same as dominate. So you're sort of in the right direction. You're kind of getting warm, but not the same. Because if I influence you, it's seen as positive. Dominate is negative. Influence is I guide you, I help you, I encourage you, I have some effect on you, but I don't push you around, right? I invite you, I cajole you, I encourage you, but I'm not pushing. Dominate means I'm telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Do what I say. Don't do what you want to do. Do what I say you do, right? That's
A
dominate.
kind of bossy way. A kind of bossy way.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's why that's negative. Okay. None of us like to be bossed around, right? You know, like children will be bossed around by their parents because that's the natural order of things, right? But at a certain stage in life, they reach a certain maturity and no longer should the parents be bossing them about, right? The younger person might go to the parent for advice. Mom, what do you think I should do here, right? That's different. But when somebody is young, they can't really think for themselves. The parents have to think for them. And so the parents will tell them, you should do this, or you shouldn't do that. You should thank Alan for that gift he sent you. Go and write him a thank you note. The child mightn't think to do that, but the parent would think that, right? So between adults, dominate is not a good thing. It's negative. So with that in mind, if somebody is described as indomitable, can you guess what that means?
Stubborn.
Stubborn? Well, you're very warm, but not exactly right. No, you're very, very close, right? Because stubborn is seen as negative, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but indomitable is not seen as negative. Right. Stubborn is somebody who won't listen to other people. They want their way all the time. That's what stubborn is, right? Stubborn. Indomitable cannot be subdued or overcome, as persons will or courage unconquerable. An indomitable warrior. So in other words, what indomitable means is somebody that you cannot dominate, right? Because their spirit, their character is such that they're a very strong character. And so you can't subdue them. You can't boss them about, slap them about, tell them what to do. No. Right? Because they have real courage. They're unconquerable, strong will. Right? So indomitable is seen as positive, kind of always.
it's like someone who are persistent or persistent with their value and their character. It's
Exactly.
like
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
okay.
everybody admires someone who is indomitable. Indomitable. It's kind of a hard word to say. Indomitable. 6 syllables.
Indomitable.
Let's listen to it. Listen to it.
کنم چیز نزده
Indomitable.
گلس نزده
Indomitable.
Indomitable.
Yeah, indomitable. Indomitable. Even I find it hard to say. Indomitable. I'll say it slowly. Indomitable. Indomitable.
Indomitable.
It's because it's got that wee it in the middle of it. If it was indomitable, that would be easy. Indomitable, right? But it's indomitable. It's indomitable. It's indomitable. It's got that it in the middle of it. It makes it hard to say.
Indomitable.
Very good. Very, very good.
Thank you.
That's excellent. Right. Right. Here's a good word. Pitiless. What does pitiless mean?
I think it's kind of very aggressive and cruel.
Aggressive?
And cruel.
Did you say poor?
Yes.
No, it's not penniless. That would be penniless.
I can say example for this.
Go on.
Putin, teacher.
Wow. Here we have a political statement here from Mona. Absolutely right. Absolutely
Oh,
right.
it means like cold-hearted?
Yes. Has no care, no feelings. Pitiless.
Okay.
Right? The feeling of showing no pity, merciless. Pitiless criticism of his last novel, right? Criticizing a book is quite different from criticizing, you know, a person's character, but pitiless is this idea of no pity. So to have pity is good, to have no pity is bad, right? Right? Pitiless.
Pitiless.
That's an American pronunciation. Pitiless, pitiless, pitiless. And in Britain, we would say pitiless, pitiless.
Pitiless. Pitiless.
I don't like that pronunciation. Learn it like I teach you, right? Pitiless, pitiless, pitiless.
Sure. Can we use these words for describing someone? I mean, when we know that they are so pitiless, so we say that how you so pitiless. Is it right? Is it?
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do
exactly. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. Or
Okay.
another word we would use in that particular scenario is heartless. Why are you so heartless?
Okay.
You've got no
Okay, thank
heart,
you.
right? Right. But it can also be described used in a situation like this. I read this in the press this week, right? So anything I read in the press that I find interesting, I copy it out and it goes in my notepad to be regurgitated at appropriate moments, just like this, okay? Now this is describing not Putin, but Zelensky. But it's not saying that Zelensky is pitiless, because he's far from that. But it said this: Zelensky soon learned that leadership was pitiless. Now just think about what that's saying. Zelensky, the Prime Minister of Ukraine, learned that leadership is pitiless. In other words, it's very, very, very hard to be a leader, you know,
Yes.
and it's very hard to be leader of a country because you have to weigh up some very difficult situations and make
Yes.
some very difficult calls, right? And no one cares about you. So he doesn't experience any pity from anybody else.
Yes.
So here, it's a very positive statement about him.
Mhm.
But when Mona, when you said Putin was pitiless, that was a very negative statement about him,
Yes.
which everyone would agree with, right? You know, common sense and everyone's heart, everyone agrees with that, right?
Yes.
But here, that's describing a character who is manifest. We all understand exactly what his character is. But this is describing not the character of Zelensky, but the concept of leadership.
Yes.
Not the character, but the concept. See how it's different?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, next word is, what does this word mean? Delicate. What does that word mean?
So very careful. Delicate.
Yeah.
Sensitive.
Yes. Yeah. 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 If I said Mona has a delicate nature, that would say she's sensitive. Don't criticize her because she's delicate. Yeah, I could say that. In general, delicate is something that's fragile. Yeah, see that got definition there. Fragile, easily damaged, frail. Delicate porcelain or a delicate child. Yeah. Right,
Yes.
delicate, delicate,
Delicate.
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 Okay. But there's a special case and use of this word I want you all to be aware of. Since you're all female today. If a woman's condition is described as delicate, can you guess what that might mean?
Women.
It's a euphemism. Yeah, it doesn't mean she's female. No, she's are always female, right? Right. So I didn't think anybody would know this, right? But if your condition is described as delicate, right, and you're female, and this is how it'd be used,
Yeah.
it would mean you're pregnant, right? And because that's a very direct statement, people don't want to say it so directly, so they say her condition is. Don't you know her condition is delicate? That's how it would be used. Don't you realize her condition is delicate? That means she's pregnant. She's expecting a child.
This
Oh,
condition
I haven't heard
explain.
about that. Yeah, I
What?
haven't heard about this meaning.
Okay.
I only heard about the
Yeah.
Taylor Swift song "Delicate."
Okay. Somebody else was going to come in there. Somebody else say something? No. Okay, so there you go. So let's look it up. Condition, delicate. See if it comes up. Let's do it up here. Delicate condition. It's old-fashioned euphemism to be pregnant. There you go. The ladies of the manor are starting to suspect that you're in a delicate condition. Okay. So there you go. So
Okay.
you would read this in like novels by Charlotte Bronte or, you know, that kind of thing, older novels. But it would still be used in modern times as well. If you don't want to be very, there's no dubiety about the meaning, always. It's very clear what it means. okay? But it's slightly less upfront than saying pregnant, right? Okay, there you go. It's amazing what you learn in Alan's Advanced English, isn't it? Right. It's just gone 9 o'clock, so we'll make this next word the last, right? What does this word mean? Nexus. What does nexus mean? Okay. Let's hear it pronounced.
Nexus.
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 Nexus. A connection or series of connections linking two or more things. Here's a good example. The nexus between industry and political power. A central point, a central or focal point. The nexus of any government in a country is number 10. Sorry, the nexus of any government in this country is number 10. That's a reference to 10 Downing Street, right? Which is where the Prime Minister is located, right? You could say the nexus of the government in America is the White House.
What's the
Come again, Mona?
Excuse me, teacher. What's the meaning of number 10 in this sentence?
Yeah, so number 10 is the address. It's simply the address of the Prime Minister's residence in London. His address is 10 Downing Street.
Okay.
Okay. And then we shorten that to say number 10.
Okay.
Right? We just say number 10. So in Britain, if you say number 10, like that, no.10, short for number 10, everybody knows you're referring to the government. The government's, it's like a, I think it's called a metonym, where you say one thing, but you mean another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
That's what number 10 means.
Thank
But what
you.
I'm really trying to teach you is this idea of nexus, right? The nexus. So there's a thing, an expression, the nexus of forces. There you go. Gartner Information Terminology Glossary, nexus of forces. Is the convergence and mutual reinforcement of social mobility, cloud, and information patterns that drive new business scenarios. That is such a mouthful. But the point is, nexus is the cross point, right? It's where things come together. You know, you might say the nexus of the road system in Paris is the Arc de Triomphe. Right, because the Arc, you know, the Arc de Triomphe is. That'll be lost on you if you don't know what the Arc de Triomphe is. The Arc de Triomphe is the big famous arch in the middle of in Paris, and all the cars go round and round and round and round. It's like this massive big roundabout, right? And the cars go round and round and round this famous landmark. So you could say that's the nexus. That's the crossover point. Okay, I think we're out of time, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Thank you, Cher.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Alan.
Eva, you have asked me to comment on your pronunciation in a recording. I will get to that, right? I'll just be patient with me.
Okay. Thank you, Cher. Okay, thank you. I'm waiting your feedback.
Busy man, you know, busy man. I will send the feedback. I'll put it on the group so everybody can listen to it, right?
Yes, yes.
I'll get
I
round
know.
to it.
Thank you for this lesson today.
All right.
It's fantastic.
All right. That's great. See y'all. Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Have a nice
Bye.
day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.